You enjoy that 3-day weekend every September. The barbecues, the sales, the day off. But do you know the real price of Labor Day? What started as a worker's dream ended in gunfire and flames. This is the forgotten story you were never told. The price of a day off. Inspired by real accounts from the Pullman Strike of 1894. The air in Pullman, Illinois, was always thick. Thick with the smell of sawdust and paint from the train car factory. But it was also thick with fear. My pa worked himself to the bone for Mr. Pullman. But the company cut his wages, and we barely had enough for food. Our rent for the company house stayed the same. It felt like a trap. The men started whispering words I'd never heard before. Strike. Union. Fairness. The morning the whistle didn't blow, the silence was louder than any sound. I walked with Pa to the gates. The machines inside were dead. Instead, there was a crowd of men. They weren't yelling. They were just standing there, solid, a wall of quiet men. I felt proud. I felt scared. They held signs that said simple things. A fair wage or we feed the machines. They were asking to be seen. I remember the day the strike began. It wasn't with yelling, but with a strange quiet. The factory whistles didn't blow. I followed Pa to the meeting grounds. Hundreds of men stood together. It was powerful. It felt like hope. I read my great-great-grandfather's journal once. He wrote, "We are not machines. We are men with families. If we stand together, they must see us. If we are silent together, they must hear us." That day, their silence was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. Then the soldiers came. President Cleveland sent them to break the strike. Our streets, where we played stickball, were filled with men in blue uniforms carrying rifles. The air changed. It got tight and sharp. I was hiding behind our porch steps when the shouting started. A rock flew. Then a sound cracked the sky in half. A gunshot. Then another. And another. The smoke wasn't from factory chimneys anymore. It was from guns. Then the men with rifles came. They said we were breaking the law. The air got tight. I hid behind the porch steps, my heart hammering against my ribs. I saw a soldier shove a man. A rock flew from the crowd. And then the world exploded. The crack of gunfire. The screams. The smoke that didn't smell like the factory. It was a smell of fear. After the shooting, something broke. Men ran, but some ran toward the trains. They weren't going to let the trains move. I saw flames reflected in the puddles on the street. They set the fancy Pullman cars on fire. The orange light danced on the soldiers' faces and the scared faces of my neighbors. The whole world felt like it was burning down, all for the right to be treated like a person. After the guns came the fire. It started with one car, then another. The beautiful, shiny Pullman Palace cars that men like my pa built with their hands were now burning. The orange flames lit up the night, reflecting on the faces of the soldiers and the strikers. It wasn't a celebration. It was an anger so deep it had to burn something. The strike ended. The men lost. They had to go back to work for less pay. My pa was quieter after that. But a few weeks later, we heard the news. To try and make peace, the president made Labor Day a national holiday, a day for the worker. We didn't celebrate that first year. How could we? We'd lost so much. That holiday felt like a bandage on a deep wound. We lost. The men went back to work. The silence in our house was heavier than before. Then the news came. The president made a new holiday called Labor Day, a day for the worker. People in other towns would have parades. Pa read the newspaper and just sighed. It felt like a hollow victory. That piece of paper couldn't give us back what we lost. That first Labor Day was born from a struggle. It was a bandage on a deep wound, a holiday bought with sacrifice. So this year, when you enjoy that Monday off, remember the weight it carried. Remember the price they paid. What's a piece of history you think everyone should know? Let me know in the comments below. If you learned something new today, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And subscribe to American Arcane for more stories lost to history.